Alright, you're trying to better yourself. You're in the healing journey. It's rough. I'm here to share my insight to help you out. So, you're going along, you're identifying habits, behaviors, emotional attachments that are just not good. You know, they're toxic. You're identifying them and you're working on them. And you're losing friends. You're being put in a place where you're alone and have no one with your thoughts. You are being taken away from places that you love or losing passion for things you love because you just accepted to rebuild your entire foundation because you want to be a better version of yourself. So all the things that made you who you are now needs to be thrown in the bin, and you need to be stripped down to the most raw version of you to truly find who you are and build a newfound confidence and a new foundation with the experience you've gathered through your life, like a fresh slate. And when you do this, it is wild who you become. The confidence goes through the roof because you honestly believe who you are, you're living authentically, and you're in your truth. So it's so easy to do things that were so scary because you trust yourself, you know yourself, you've stripped it down, you started again with all your good habits and morals, and your foundation's sweet. So you really believe what you're doing, and to come and talk on camera or go do the thing that you do, it won't always be this, will just be so much more easy because of self-belief, self-love, and it's just an insane place to be, really. Like, a lot of people will never get to a place like this in their life because they won't attack these problems and behaviors, and they will just keep being influenced from other people. There's a lot to this. Keep it under 10 minutes. Let's try that. You are rebuilding your foundation because you've identified that you're not happy with the habits and behaviors that you have when certain things arise. And you're trying to solve them. You're trying to let things come up because I'm assuming that's where you're at. You've accepted there's issues and you're letting them arise and come up and feel them. So depending on how far you are through this is probably the hardest thing you'll ever do in your entire life because it's all attached to your identity, who you are. Like, these are things you've had your whole life. Like, these are behaviors you've done most of your life. And they're learnt deep into your foundation, and to undo them and to even recognize that you need to get rid of these things is amazing. So well done if you're there. But yeah, just going on more depth it is very weird losing your identity. You feel very vulnerable, very raw. I'm going to talk about a bit of spiritual stuff because we are all the same. We are all from the same source of energy in this universe. Like, we perceive the same type of thing, and we're in this together. This journey is all of us. So when I'm looking at you or talking to you, it's talking to myself. We are individual, but the thing deep down, the inner voice that we have and the guidance that we have is the same thing. So like, my confidence that I have from working through all these problems is the confidence you also have, but then you have all these roadblocks and things that you have to knock over to get the belief and trust back and your power back within you, and then walk in flow. So it all starts with identifying you've done that, and then you go on the journey of losing people. Relationships fall away, things that you don't need fall away, identity's gone, places where you think you want to live disappear. Everything just starts again because that's what you've just asked for. So with all your life experiences and the lessons that you've learnt, you are given a fresh slate to start again and use all the new good habits and behaviors to build up a new foundation. And it's really rough and hard when you're clinging to the idea of who you are. So there's lots of work to do. There's lots of like letting go of things. There's a lot of pain and suffering that comes up. And because you are a human being, you need to release all these things. You need to talk to certain people that are close to you about it. You need to go get angry. You need to go cry. You need to go do whatever emotion comes up and feel it. Obviously, don't harm other people, but you need to feel the things that come up, because that is a part of you repairing. And it depends how bad your habits are, like, and how much work. But this is a really long journey. But I can tell you now, if you go through this and feel the pain and knock one thing down at a time, it is ridiculous what it does to your confidence. Like, you don't really have a fear, because the people that are judging you are like, they're yourself looking back at you with the insecurities that you're getting rid of. So it's really weird. Like, everyone would need to be in my mindset to understand what I'm saying right now, but it's a start. You're starting, you're working through it. You need to forgive people. You need to set boundaries. You need to know when to cut certain people off if you're giving too much energy to someone else. This is all about you. This is like a couple years for you. And just dig deep and let it all go. Let it all come out. And you're going to use all your good experiences and all your great learnt behaviors, and you're going to put them on the new slate, and then you're going to go from there. And it's going to be raw. You're going to feel a bit naked, and that's totally fine, because everything around you is seeing you for your new version. It's not your final version, but it's your new slate, your fresh slate. Your curiosity's back. Your things will light you up in a different way, and you'll have new interests and all that kind of stuff, and you're stepping into the unknown. And then people around you that don't go on this journey are going to see you as like something they haven't seen, and it's weird, and then that's when you get all like the backlash and everything. But it's completely fine. I'm telling you now, if you just go through it, none of that matters, and you come out as who you're fully meant to be. You come out as knowing yourself, loving yourself, trusting yourself, and then opportunities just arise and unlock because you're magnetizing things, because you're on a higher frequency now. You're true to yourself. So the thing that you've always wanted to do in the back of your mind, the fearful stuff, the scary stuff, the doubt, drops away, and then you just easily do the thing that you've probably always wanted to do. And it's incredible. It just sucks that maybe you don't have all these problems. I hope a lot of you don't, because you can get to this sooner. That's probably why you see people just like really winning, is because I don't know if they've like set it aside and just bypassed and pretended nothing's happening, or most of them have probably somewhat forgive themselves for their past, and they've moved on with a positive attitude, and then it just attracts everything in. But there is I had a lot that I was saying before I recorded, like just because I was like in a creative flow. So you need to really like who you are when you're alone at rock bottom. So I think you might stay at rock bottom, and lessons and things will keep coming up until you really love who you're being in your rock bottom. If you're still going to pleasurable desires and things like that when you are stripped down and raw, not good. So you need to be proud of who you are when you have nothing. You need to be doing your fitness, your emotional baggage releasing, and letting all this stuff come up, and have no substance, no alcohol, no drugs, no anything, and just be in it, like feel it and embrace it. And that's when there's like a switch that flicks in your brain. You really like what you just did. So once you do all that, once you do the most rawest letting go ever, and you see yourself naked and everything, and you're healed, that's when you can start again. That's when you know you have a fresh slate, because there's no more lying to yourself. You're not making anything up. It's just pure fixing problems. I'm going to come back to you because there was a lot more to go on here. So give me 2 seconds. Alright, so there is no point not wanting to fix these things to become your true self, because you'd be lying your whole life. You're living a life of fear, and you can be easily manipulated, and you're quite vulnerable, and other people can control you really easily. So it's best you do find who you really are, because it's just easy once you're in flow with the universe and you're living your truth. It's just such a nice place to be. And to not live with regret, like this, like healing your problems and behaviors can somewhat like get rid of your regret, because you're willing to own up to it and acknowledge it and then fully change. So that can almost wipe a lot of like regrets you have, even if you've done some gnarly stuff. Like it can somewhat ease that pain, and then just living life knowing that you've really given it a go and you've just tried a bit of everything. It's like, man, that feels good. Maybe you might be ignorant to this stuff and you live your life without all this and you don't have problems and stuff. That's fine, and I'm happy if that's authentic for you. But if you're one of the people that like think a lot about this or think of doing more, it's not like you have to conquer the world. It's not that. It is just like finding who you really are and just living it. And then it's contagious. Like people will see when you're real and honest and being you, and like when it's just like, if you sell rugs and you have one rug and you sell that rug and you're happy with it, you make good money off selling your one rug and you're content, that is so amazing. Don't let the guy over here selling 3 rugs tell you how much more money he makes and how much better it is, because you're content with your one rug and people are buying it and it's fine. Don't listen to other people. It's all about like what you want. And when you solve all your really negative problems, you naturally just do more kind and morally correct things. So for me, it's just, this should be done. It's so easy to say once you are healed, but give it a crack. Dive into your heaviness and your secrets and your darkness. Like everyone's got them, and if you can just untangle it all, let it come up, I can't even describe what your life will become. Like if everyone gave this a shot, it would solve a lot of problems in this world. I understand that not everything's meant to be solved in this world. There's a perfect balance of good and evil, and that's fine. But if you know you're a good guy and you're doing some bad things, it's time to address this, and you may have already started your journey. This is reinforcing that you should not give up, and on the other side of it, it's incredible. Like, people won't even know me as the same person after seeing this stuff. It's just ridiculously wild how much you don't care about the opinions of other people once you know who you are. I'm saying a lot of the same things, but let's round this up. So to get here, for you to even understand what I'm saying, requires you to identify things you're not happy with in your life, wanting more, or you're not happy with how you behave or react in certain situations. So that's where it starts. And you go, yep, I'm going to fix these problems. Get ready for a roller coaster. But also get ready in 2 years' time or however long to feel at one with everything and flow and happiness and contentment and joy, I guess. But another thing is, if you've got problems that are arising not from like childhood or like deep-rooted foundations, you've just started getting anxiety recently or depression recently, I truly believe creativity in any area of your life, creating something and sharing something, will kill depression a lot of the time. And I believe if you've got anxiety in your adult life and you never used to have it, you might start like feel like you're falling behind, or you're comparing to other people or where you're at, and then it's creating like you're not good enough. And it's the same type of trauma you get when you're younger, but it's just coming at a bit when you're a bit older. But that's easier to conquer. So for me, the things that came up in my older life weren't so hard to deal with, but still needed to be dealt with, were bringing my baseline down of what makes me content and happy. So if you drink beers and play PlayStation every day after work, or like you're in your desires and pleasures a lot more, it's so hard for when you don't have them to feel okay. So if you come down to your baseline, or like lower your baseline, and exercise and simple things like become your happiness, it makes all like the other things really cool when you spike them up and you have a couple beers with your mates or whatever you do, or play PlayStation every now and then, but you do all your disciplined stuff first, and the disciplined stuff gives you most of your contentment. That will help with so much anxiety and depression and keep you level-headed. So yeah, if you're on the scale of just pleasures, desires, and everything's easy and you're not really doing anything hard, it's quite difficult when you don't always have that around you. So I would start with lowering my baseline for contentment, and then I would work on all your behaviors and stuff coming up, and naturally that'll come up when you have gone to a lower baseline where you're thinking of those things like exercise and your mental state and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, let all this shit come out. It's good, it's hard, it's really difficult. A lot of people are going through this now, so I feel like I should share this. And yeah, like I don't have everything figured out. Like I'm not a billionaire doing all the things that I want, and I'm 30 and it's taking me that long to like even be at the beginning of what I know I want. So there's so many failures and so many things I could go into that directed me here, but man, am I happy that I had the strong mindset and determination to keep standing up over and over and over again to accumulate all this knowledge and pain and put it in a package for you guys. And you might not need to go that long, or maybe you have even more pain and bullshit and you have actual crazy bad life stories that have happened to you, like family related stuff. Like I just feel like I can relate to a lot of people because my story isn't really extravagant. It's quite similar to a lot of people with bad foundations, like with no father, or just violent people around you, or just like seeing drugs, or like not being nurtured and stuff. It's quite common, or it was for my generation. So I would like to relate to people. I'd like to help people, and that's where we're at now. Like I'll just keep picking topics randomly and go into depth. But start with lowering your baseline and fixing things that come up because you've accepted them. And trust me, if you've accepted wanting to fix yourself, they will come up. And you have to understand it's you. It's the higher version of you is doing this. So when you lose everything, be okay with it. Alright, good luck. Thanks for listening.